This is the story of a man named Luke. He became president of the United States just by answering one question. What's 2 times 2? He answered 4, and the entire room was instantly stunned. This man was a genius. Actually, this story takes place 500 years in the future, in an era where human intelligence has completely deteriorated. Crumbling buildings are held together with ropes, movies are nothing but cheaply made garbage, and trash piles the size of mountains are everywhere. The root of all this goes back 500 years to when people only cared about making money and reproducing, completely neglecting their children's education. Low IQ people kept having more kids, causing humanity's overall intelligence to drop generation after generation. To preserve high intelligence for the future, the military launched a hibernation program. They decided to freeze and preserve a select group of people. Luke became one of the first participants in the experiment. After the injection, he slowly fell into a deep sleep. The plan was originally supposed to last 1 year, but the very next day, the project leader was arrested. The lab was demolished, and this top-secret mission was completely forgotten. 500 years later, a garbage mountain suddenly collapsed, instantly burying an entire city. Luke's hibernation pod was smashed into someone's house, and the door was accidentally knocked open, waking him from his sleep. The homeowner was furious that his TV show had been interrupted. The next instant, he literally threw Luke out the window. Luke walked out onto the street trying to ask passersby what had happened, but instead got attacked by a bunch of idiots. Thirsty, he tried to find some water, but what came out of the faucet was green soda. He picked up a newspaper and discovered it was now the year 2505. He'd been asleep for a full 500 years. Just then, the police showed up and arrested him because he didn't have an identity barcode implanted in his hand. But when he got to court, the judge was equally stupid. Without listening to any testimony, the judge sentenced him to 200 years in prison. The courtroom observers actually applauded. Nobody wanted to hear his defense. Before going to prison, he took an IQ test. The question was, what's 2 plus 2? He answered 4. He was immediately sentenced to death by firing squad because people in this era had become too stupid to understand the correct answer. On his first day in prison, he came up with a bold escape plan. He told a guard, "Today's the day I get released." And the guard actually believed him and let him go. But the moment he stepped out the door, he was caught again. This time, he was taken to the White House because he'd correctly answered the 2 plus 2 question. The president called a national meeting and appointed him Secretary of Agriculture to solve the problem of why crops never grew. But when Luke arrived at the fields, he was shocked to discover people were watering the crops with soda. He explained to them that plants need water, not soda. He immediately ordered the soda company shut down and mandated that only water could be used to irrigate the fields from now on. But a month passed and the land was still barren. The soda company went bankrupt, and many people lost their jobs. This sparked public outrage, and everyone turned against Luke. But a few days later, the crops in the fields actually started growing strong and healthy. Everyone realized Luke was right, so the president pardoned him and appointed him as the new president.